Okay. Good morning. Let's reach up and go side to side. Nice and easy. Pushing out on your hands, using your breath. This is week 5 of August, so we're going to mix things up a little bit. Reach up and circle it out. We're going to do our standing warm up, standing bands. And I think we'll play around with the conditioning segments this time. Just keep it interesting. Good. And reach, 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 reach. And let your arms come down. Let's do some elbow circles. And lazy backstroke arms. Good. Let's take it down to the hips. Pop it out. Just want to get in a little bit of full body movement before we start adding anything like bands, hula hoops. Make sure we're all moving okay before we start adding resistance. Circle it around the other way. And figure eights. Reverse. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Nice. Let's take your feet nice and wide. Go side to side. Make sure those inner thigh muscles, the adductors, are nice and loose. And then hold it out to one side and pulse. 3, 4. And go to the other side and pulse. And then turning your toes out, bringing your hands on your knees, pushing them back. Let's drop our shoulders. Okay. And then sink it down. Come into that squat. Just loosen up through the hips as much as you can. And let's bring our hands down to the floor and do some bottoms up. 2, 3, 4. One more. Bring your hands onto your knees and roll it up. Let's hug knees into chest. 1. Okay, and let's take that into a big circle. 6, one more set. And butt kicks. Nice and dynamic. 2. Sink down and reach up, sink down and reach up. If you've seen this before, it's in our conditioning section. It's also a nice way to warm up. And let's punch across, reach, rotate, turn your toes. Keep those knees moving. Good. Okay, let's get our flat band. And start with some of the resistance work. So starting shoulder width apart, ribs stacked over your hips so we're not arching. Let's do some pull aparts. Shoulders are down away from your ears. Initiating the movement through your shoulder blades or through the muscles between your shoulder blades. Those rhomboids, traps doing the work. Let's go in a diagonal. 2. Both Both arms pulling nice and straight. And the other diagonal. Reach up, pull down just behind your shoulders, and then back up. So down and up. Not a big movement, but should feel like a nice stretch on your shoulders. Bring the band down in front. Roll your shoulders. Either if your band is really stretchy, no, don't double it up. Keep it stretchy. What we want to do is, I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud. What we want to do is hold the band out here and pull apart. And I want you to feel your back muscles engaging. Your shoulders are working, chest is working, stretching, and your back is working. You're going to turn your head both ways and release. So we're going to pull apart, left, right, release, pull apart, right, left, release, pull apart. So what we want to do is engage. Keep going, keep going, keep going. What we want to do is engage those upper back muscles and try to release the neck. This is actually a nice one for training that separation, that your neck can't do everything. And we could do it on a diagonal, looking both ways. Pull, turn. Squeeze those shoulder blades and turn. Let's do a couple the other way. Turn. Turn. This also works if you're on the floor, if it feels weird while you're just standing. Okay, now let's take the band nice and loose and go all the way around. So you can pull on the band, it's stretchy. There you go. Do one more like this. And then we torture you with the grand finale. We're going to pull apart and just do little pulses going around the clock. Working your way to 12 and 6, and then working your way around the other way. Shoulders feeling it, back feeling it. Take the band behind your back. We're going to do arms, and then we'll move on to legs. So one hand in the small of your back, one hand by the nape of your neck, and we're going to pull in both directions. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to switch. The other arm goes up, the other arm goes down, switching sides. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, shake it all out. Swing your arms. You get a nice big break now. We're going to get our mini loop band to put around our ankles, the blue one or the black one. Or you don't have the blues and the blacks anymore, you can combine them. You can do yellow and green, yellow and blue. You put yellow and green together, it's almost as stiff as the blue one, but there's something about that that always goes me up, because it's blue and yellow that makes green, not yellow and green that makes blue. But that's the band company for you. Here we go. We're going to count down. 10 out and back, 8 out and back, 6 out and back, all the way down to 1. So sink into that little squat, weights back on your heels. Your hips are holding you. Hands can be where they're comfortable. Don't let any tension come off that band. And look down at your feet. Make sure your knees and your toes are going in the same direction. And most importantly, make sure you're not doing this, where your knee is pointing and your toe is pointing, because you're not working your hip, you're working your quads. Let's go 8 across. 8 and 8, 7, 6, 6, 5, and 6. My counting is my counting. I don't know if we're all in the same place. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's burning. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go for 2 and 2. 1 and 1. And give yourself a hand. Woo-hoo-hoo. Good work. Take that off. Grab a drink. Your choice, coffee, tea, or water, or whatever you got. Today's our day for doing Pilates walkouts, so we're gonna go for 3 of them. We're gonna add the push-up. If you need to add the push-up and you're out in this plank and you don't want to do a push-up from your toes, all you have to do is drop your knees, go into a push-up, lift your knees, and walk yourself back. So that's what it'll look like. In the meantime, we're gonna reach up, big breath in. Exhale, swan dive down. Walk your hands out to that plank. 1 push-up. And walk your hands back in. Feels good to be in a forward fold. We're going to take our arms up. Big breath in. Swan dive down, forward fold. Plank number 2. Push-up number 2. And walk it back. Inhale up. Now down, last one. Walking it out. 1 push-up. And when you're ready, walk it back in. And bring it up. Good. I need to put my mat down on the floor. That we'll do it without a mat. We're gonna come down on the floor, do our floor work with bands. Then we'll do shin box. And then we have the conditioning grand finale. Here we go. So let's start. What are we starting with? Bird dogs. 5 weeks, you think I remember. If any of you worry about dementia with me, let me know. I probably won't remember that you talked to me. Maybe I'll remember it more than I remember the workouts. So let's do balance beam. Toes on the floor, not the tops of your foot. It gives you a little bit less to work with, but more to press into the floor with. So extend, punch, extend, and bring it down. We'll switch sides. Extend, crunch, extend. If you want to know how narrow my stance is, I'm like this. Extend, crunch, extend. The idea is that you're not shifting your weight all over the place. You're trying not to wobble all over the place. Channel your inner Simone Biles. Good. And let's come down on our sides. And let's work on those leg lifts that we were doing the last week or so. So if you're perpendicular to the floor, you're right on your hip. We're not rocked back, but you can take your feet forward. So you have a little bit of a hinge here. And from here, we're going to lift up. So I want you to think about locking out your knee. You can point your toe or flex your toe, doesn't matter, but your leg is one solid unit, moving as one. And then we're going to hold it here, point your toe, and make little circles like the size of a melon. And reverse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Let's see if we can bring both legs up. So we're going to count for 2. Up, 2, down, 2. You can brace with your hand. Do one more. and then bring both feet up. So you might feel better to have your legs in a straight line. It might feel better to still keep your feet forward, doesn't matter. But let's start with your feet, both feet off the ground, moving them in the opposite directions and snapping them together. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Bend that back leg. Lift up your bottom leg or the front leg. Rotate from the hip so your toe goes down to the floor, and let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming onto your back. We're going to do bridge marching. So kind of get settled in. Hips, knees, and feet are all in alignment. So let's actually start going side to side and coming back to center into a bridge. And then start going the other way, side to side, center, bridge. And if that's feeling good, I want you to press your back into the floor so you're in a little bit of a posterior tilt. And from here, lift up as high as you can. And we're march for 20, 19, 18. That's a hard way to count. 16. Trying to keep your hips level. You're not rocking and rolling all over the place. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in. Let your back rest. And then let's pivot around. It's not street dancing. You can get up and turn. Okay, so again, you don't have to have your feet straight. Let's take them forward. And let's just do 8 to 10 simple leg lifts. Ankle flexed or pointed, as long as this leg is moving as a unit. Leading from the hip. And then hold it there, point your toe, and let's do little circles. 4 or 5 in one direction, 4 or 5 in the other. Should be feeling that near your hip. Okay. Let's bring both feet up. I'm gonna go up, up, down, all the way down. Up, up, down, down. Six, 7, and 8. Hold those legs up. We're going for 6 alligator snaps. Both legs move. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. But I like to let my foot hit the ground because I know I've lowered it. Sometimes people will do this and they're not moving their lower leg and they don't realize it. So I like to drop it and then pick it back up. But that's me. We are going to come onto our bellies and pop up into a plank. Last week we did 40 seconds. I think this week we're going to go for a whole minute. We're only doing it once. 1 minute of planking. Get into position, and we will go in 3, 2, 1. So if a minute is still too long, drop your knees, hold it in a plank from this position, and then lift back up. Come out of it, come back in when you can. It's always the rule, right? Work when you can, rest when you need to, come back to us when you can. It always surprises me how hard it can be to hold a position without even moving. We have about 20 seconds left. You're 40 seconds, you're doing great. We're at 45. Keep up, pulling your ribs up, hips back, heels back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those knees. Come back into child's pose. Okay, on to side one because this is the oblique circuit that never ends. I'll wait for you with my slouchy shoulder. And then we'll come up into our lifted shoulder and angle your feet forward. So if you're all the way up on your elbow, see if you can do one arm to one leg. Push yourself this time, this week. I don't know when we're going to come back to these again. But see if you can even lift, even if you don't touch, try to bring both legs up off the floor. It's not too different from what we were just doing a few minutes ago. Let's go for 10 on each side. 2, 3, 4, or tuck your knees if you have to. Do a partial lift. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And just for grins, let's do a butt pivot around and go to the other side. When you're ready, no rush. When I talk, I stop counting, you know that. So sometimes my counts are off. So slouch down, lift up out of it, keep that blade, and let's go. 2, 3, might help to hook your feet together. And we're going to come onto our bellies and do 6 W push-ups. Doing a push-up, coming up in a plank from a dead stop on the bottom isn't easy. So you need to come up from your knees, try to come up on a plank and not like this. Want you come up nice and strong. So we're going to reach, pull, reach, hands by your shoulders, press it up. Reach, pull, reach, and press. Reach, pull, reach, and press. Big exhale as you press. 4, reach 2 more. Reach, pull, reach, press. Last one, reach, pull, reach, and press. Back into child's pose. So let's stay on our hands and knees. And let's move our tailbone, articulate it, but try not to articulate anything else in your back. You want to keep the movement here. You put your hand on your back to see if you can feel your middle back moving. It might be a smaller movement than you expect because you're used to working through your whole back. The tailbone up, tuck it under. Tailbone up, tuck it under. This is not cat-cow. This is just the very bottom part of that movement, focusing on your pelvic position. And then come back to neutral, shake it out, and let's protract the shoulders, retract the shoulders, protract the shoulders, retract the shoulders. Again, your middle back might be moving because your rib cage is, it's all your rib cage, but the primary movement is in the very upper part of your back where your shoulder blades are. And then bring that back to neutral, shake out what needs to be shaken out, and let's pull the rib cage up and let it drop down. See if you can find movement in that very middle part of your spine. So you might get a little bit of tailbone movement, a little bit of shoulder blade movement, but the majority of the movement is coming from your middle back. And then we'll put it all together. Tailbone curls under, middle back, rib cage pulls up, shoulder blades protract, chin tucks. Feel that stretch. Then we're going to lift the crown of our head. The shoulders sink together. The middle back arch and tailbone come up. One more time. Tailbone, mid back, shoulder blades, chin tuck. Lift your head, let your shoulders retract, and tailbone comes up. Good. We are going to come onto our sides with one weight. So from your one knee or from your feet, we're going to reach that arm straight and lift up to the ceiling. Eight. We're going to spin it around and do side two. So obliques on your bottom side working, back and shoulder muscles on the upper side working. Opposite sides of your body helping each other. Breathe. 6, 2 more. 7 and 8. Let's bring it down. Put the weight down, sit on your bottom. Let's come into the slouchy lounge chair mode. Let your back curve. Let it stretch. Shift your weight side to side. And gradually come back to center. So we're going to sit up tall, make your spine nice and long. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Feet are wide. Let's take our knees side to side. And right now I'm supporting myself a little bit with my hands. You can also do it up on your knuckles if that's more comfortable for your wrists. Better for your arms. Then we're going to take one leg up, cross that ankle over above your knee, drag that leg in. Just loosen our hips up a little bit more, shifting your weight side to side. And let's switch sides. It's just a quick stretch before we go into our shin box exercise. Hips to be feeling nice and loose. Okay, so we're going to do this twice to each side. Feet are wide. Hands are engaged. If you need to use your hands, use your hands. Get used to doing this movement. We're going to get up off the floor, see how much you need to use, and we'll work on how little you need to use. So bring everything over to one side. You can move your foot so it's easier to get up. We're going to exhale, use your abs. Come forward, stand, down. Take that second knee down, it's like doing surrenders. Sink all the way down, beautiful. Up and over. And you can't laugh when you're working out. Oh, you're taking it way too seriously. Up and up. So there's a lot of research out there. And down and down, however you want to come down. There's no right way. So let's go one more time. Over, up, step, and up, down, both knees down, hips down. There you go. So the research, somebody asked me, because they were using their arms and their legs and everything to help themselves get up. Research says you can get up without using any other hands. You can just from a seated position to a standing position, not use any other part of your body, but just get up to standing. Then you're less likely to die of all causes in the next whatever 10 years. And she was very upset because she has a knee issue or an ankle issue, or whatever her issue was, a back issue. And she was using her hands to help herself get up. And all I could do was look at her, and I'll look at you too, is if you can get up off the floor, you're not going to die on the floor. So isn't that more important than not being able to use your hands or whatever? You can practice not using your hands. That's what we're doing. But we're building the strength. And building the strength means you're less likely to fall onto the floor you're more likely to get yourself up off the floor however you can, rather than worrying about, oh my God, I'm gonna live longer if I can do this without my hands. We just want you to be strong so you can get up off the floor. So there you have it. Let's grab a quick drink. We have a big conditioning section to do today. So I'm gonna switch to water. It makes me so mad when all the research comes out and it makes people feel bad that they're never enough. I can get off the floor, but I can't do it without using my hands. It's like, well, is there a problem? You can get up off the floor, right? Okay, so we're gonna start. We were doing 45, 15. Let's stick with that. We're gonna start with jump rope in 3, 2, 1. Bounce it out. Don't even lift your feet if you don't want to. Keep it nice and springy. Let those tendon muscles in your leg, the ligaments get used to impact. As gentle or as much as you want to give it. You can make it big, you can keep it small. But it's all bringing your heart rate up, and right now that's all that matters. We have 20 seconds left. You can run it out. Let your legs alternate the impact. You pretend you're doing figure eights. All the things I can never do with the real jump rope in my hand. And rest. Okay, swap it out. What's next? We're going to do alternating lunges with an overhead reach. So medium to light weight. Every time your hand comes up over your head, here we go. You're making your heart work a little bit harder. You're finding your heart rate's coming up too high, keep the weight a little bit lower. Alternating, you can go forwards, you can go backwards. It's all the same. Feels different. Knees are bending, bending and lifting. We have 5 seconds left. Our rate should be up there. 3, 2, and 1. 15 seconds off. Low squat jacks or gatekeepers. No weights required unless you really want them for your upper body. But let's come in. You can have your arms like this. You do gatekeeper arms. You can step it. You know what the choices are by now. We're in week 5. You do you. If you're stepping, make sure you lead with the opposite leg some of the time. Remember, the more time your arms spend above the level of your heart, the harder your heart has to work. So you're working more, getting fitter. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Bridge walkouts, coming down on the floor. Remember, we're keeping our whole foot on the floor. Pressing in with your toes and your heel till you can't press your toes anymore. Pace is yours. You have 45 seconds to play with this. It's normal as your feet go out farther, your hips will drop lower. That's just physics. I can't keep my hips up high while my knees are dropping. 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees in. Say thank you to your back for holding you up there. Rock side to side. And circle it around. Take our arms out, their legs in tabletop. Do some nice twisty windshield wipers. Take your time with these. Get the stretch. Keep your shoulders on the floor. We'll go in 30 seconds. We are going to do all 4 of the conditioning sections today, not twice. So instead of 2 sets of the 2 for Tuesday, we're going to go through 1 set of all 4 for Tuesday and Thursday. So in 15 seconds, we're going to get up, or we'll get up and get ready to go in 15 seconds, 10 seconds now, 5 seconds, get ready to do some Heisman's. Okay, 3 to 4 steps. Shuffle, 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 and crunch. Nice. You know, I didn't start writing this workout that, oh, we're gonna be all about obliques this month. But the more I do this workout, the more I think, oh my God, they're really hammering those obliques. 15 seconds. Shuffle. You don't like the crunch, keep shuffling. Don't like the shuffling, keep crunching. This is, you do your workout. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to grab a weight. And we have our lunging again, figure 8 passes. Both knees have to bend. Instead of lifting up, we're passing under. So 3, 2, 1. Lunge and pass. Lunge and pass. Go the pace that works for your ankles, your feet, your knees. You do not have to keep up with me. Focus on your balance. Very nice. We have 5 seconds left. That's nice, keeping everything low for 1 segment. And rest. Okay. We have our row and fly. If you want to go heavier for this, go heavier. Whoops, I'm only doing it once. You want to keep it light, you can keep it light. Hinging back, row, and fly. Neck is neutral, back is strong. Hips, you should feel like your hips are holding you. No rounding. Legs are strong, your hips are strong. Beautiful. Looks good. We get in 45 seconds the volume. In a way we don't quite get it when we do sets and reps. We're also going a little bit lighter. So we'll call it conditioning, maintaining strength while we're conditioning. Last one, row and fly. Put the weights down. We're going to come down on the floor for crisscross. The legs start in tabletop. We're going to peel one shoulder towards the opposite knee, one shoulder towards the opposite knee. Obliques, obliques, obliques are pretty tired by now. Take care of your back and your neck. This one is absolutely not a race. Don't have 20-year-old spines. Give our spine the same abuse we might have done all those years ago. We have 5 seconds left. And rest. Hug those knees in. Notice what your back feels like on the floor. So rock side to side. Make little circles. See if you can get your spine to be nice and flat and comfy on the floor. Or take your knees down. Do some easy windshield wipers, no tabletop. Into a pencil stretch. Just find that alignment. Hopefully you're not in a pencil stretch and your body's already in a crescent because you got lopsided doing crisscross. That would be sad. We're gonna get going in about 30 seconds. And we're gonna go into our Thursday conditioning stuff. So that goes, we're gonna start with our side step with the weight that goes in a circle. So with no weight, your arms can go big. So step together with a big circle. And you can start here and do that for 45 seconds. If you're using a weight, keep it closer to your body. You don't want to hurt your shoulders or your elbows. This just makes you work a little bit harder, makes your core work a little bit harder. No weight, you're absolutely getting your heart rate up doing this in a bigger way. So your choice, what feels right for your body this morning. And we have 15 seconds left. You're doing great. Big circles, little circles, weight or no weight. We are doing the work. Step together, step up, step together, step, lift, and rest. Now we have our sumo squat with our leg lift and balance. We go. Woo. And 3, 2, 1. Feet nice and wide. Sink it down. Lift it up. Nice. Weight can stay close to your hips. There you go. Nice. We have 10 seconds left. Sink low, lift high. We're almost there. 3, 2, awesome. And 1. Holding on to that weight. Don't let it go. We have our single leg deadlifts. Here you go in 5 seconds. So spread your toes. Find your balance on your feet. Take 1 foot back. And let's go. Alternating sides. So we don't have to count 45 seconds on each side. Back is flat. You've rolled your shoulders down. Shoulder blades are pulling down towards your hips. So the only thing that's really working here are your hips and your balance. Lower leg is fighting for it, right? You're working through your toes, through your arch, below your knee, ankle, everything working to hold you. Let's do 1 more. Each side, right back, and the left back. Put that weight down and come down on the floor. Yeah, up, down, up, down. It's not just for the chin box exercise or the get up. Plank, up to side plank. You're doing this at your own pace. You can absolutely do this from your elbows. Whoops, I just fell. You can come up and down off your elbows if you feel like, but the rotation, I like doing the rotation. Rotational moves are so good. So good for all of us. Three, 2, and 1. Come on down into child's pose. We have 4 minutes of work left once we get up. Up onto hands and knees. Cat cow. Wag your tail. Grab a drink. We'll go in 30 seconds. We have sledgehammers coming up. It's like, wait a minute, we just did those on Thursday. Yeah, you're doing it again. We're gonna do 20 on one side, build that momentum, get that circular motion going, and then 20 on the other. So we're gonna start slamming to one side. Use your breath. We always pick our dominant side, so it's gonna feel really weird when we switch. Alrighty, going the other way, turn your feet. You got rocks to bust up, wood to chop, wall to take down on the other side. 10 seconds. And rest. Pick up your second weight. You can go a little bit lighter. You might be tired by now. Doing all different moves. We have our spot to the overhead reach, just like we did in the warm-up, with a little bit more resistance. Sink it down, press it up. You want to make it a little power move. Quick punch, quick punch. Or keep the punches nice and even. And make it your squat that's powerful. Ooh, shoulders are getting tired too, I know. Rest when you need to. We have 10 seconds left. You can do this. Last one. Bring your weights down. And off the front of my shirt is getting wet from sweat because I dribbled my water. Okay. Goal post arms, chest press, pull down. 15 seconds goes by fast. Halfway there. Pace yourself. Make sure you're getting your elbows together. As usually, when I know I'm getting tired, I stop here. Force that squeeze to happen. Happens to the best of us, right? There we go. Nice. Last one. Beautiful. Oh, and let's put those weights down. Then we're going to come onto the floor. We have our bridges with the overhead reach. And we're starting a little bit late. That was a bigger break than I thought. So let's go in 5 seconds. Last bit of work. It's a nice stretch to finish with. Arms out. Lift up into that bridge. Reach. And try not to tip your whole body over. Press through your feet. Try to keep your lower body nice and stable. It's your upper body doing the rotation. Or you're trying to get there through your hips. Check in with your body. And get the stretch through your upper back. Not because you're twisting your hips. I mean, they're moving, right? We're all connected. And pull your knees in and hug yourself. Thank yourself, thank your legs, thank your body, thank your back. Let's make circles with our knees. We are all done. That's down the other way. Let's grab onto your big toes.
And let your feet come up. So your knees are in towards your armpits. Your feet are up towards the ceiling. Get that groin stretch, the inner thigh stretch. See if you can get your back to flatten out a little bit more. It's okay to rock. Happy baby. And then try to straighten one leg. We have a ninja baby. Bring that leg down. Straighten the other leg up. Nice. See if you can stretch. Just go as far as your hamstrings will let you. Don't force anything. See if you can get that leg straight. Not quite there today. That's okay. Let's bring our arms out to the side and our feet down to the floor. Knees drop to one side, to the other. Let's cross your left ankle over your right knee. And let's butterfly that knee. And then let's pull your right leg in, push your left leg away. Get a few pops in your back from doing this. But also hold behind one leg and use your elbow, but that can twist your body. So think about pushing your left thigh, pulling on your right thigh. And then bring your right foot down, keeping your left knee pointed out, but pushing away from you. Twist down to the right. Keep that left hip nice and open. Stretch out the IT band. And let's come on up, back to center, cross, we're still on the same side, left over right. Both legs in. Let your left hip have a nice big stretch. Deepen those muscles, we've been working them all morning. Let's see if we can remember what we did for side two. So let's take our right ankle over our left and butterfly. Butterfly that knee. My right hip is a little bit tighter than my left. It doesn't want to move quite as much. Probably notice that from side to side. And then let's pick up and reach behind the left thigh, push against the right thigh. May or may not get some spinal pops as you adjust here. Relax your back, let the hip stretch. Let's bring the left foot down. Press the right knee away from you and twist to the left. So we're getting that nice open stretch right at the top of the IT band. And come up to center, cross your right knee over your left, hug both legs in. Those deeper muscles in your right hip have a nice big stretch. Tuck your knees in, uncross them, tuck them in. Bring your feet down and stretch them out. Let's go into a pencil stretch. Let's start stretching those obliques. So if we come into a crescent stretch, breathe into the rounded side. Let that rib cage expand, let the muscles stretch. Back to center, and we'll go to the other side. And then let's come back to center and up to sitting. So let's find a Z sit. We'll keep stretching those obliques because it's been a very oblique month. So back up to sitting, we're gonna reach across, look for a nice big twisty stretch. And then up and over. Good. And reach across. And up and over. One more time, across. Up and over, it feels so good. Okay, try to go this way, it doesn't feel so good. So we're not gonna do it. Okay, side two, still in that Z sit. Twisting and reaching. And then going up and over, 3 more. Let's come up on hands and knees. Make some big circles. That's flatten your way. And sink your hips back. Walk your hands forward. And when you come up, pat yourself on the back. We're all done. Excellent work.